Hello everyone, welcome back to our LEGO channel. I just finished Season 2, Part 1 of Ninjago Dragons Rising. It's fresh in my mind. I actually just finished it for once. Usually I record this, hours up to days after I finish it. I just finished it, so I'm going to record it while it's fresh in my mind. And, man, has Ninjago fallen off. It's so bad now. It's so bad. What happened? I'm gonna talk about what I like first. I think that's because I don't hate all of it. First off, the last two episodes were pretty decent. The ending was horrible. The ending was straight trash. There was so much, just nothing happened. They were building up to something. All the nonsense that happened up to the last two episodes, up to the finale, I was like, oh, they were actually building to something. Something is gonna happen. And then absolutely nothing happened. It was all just set up for the second part of Season 2, or maybe Season 3. I don't know how they're gonna divvy it up. And I think that is incredibly, immensely stupid, and I hate that decision, and I just feel like my time was wasted. They can pretty easily get away with it by splitting the season up into parts and just say that it was the first part of the season, so that's why it isn't really a complete story, and I think that's a really stupid excuse. But aside from the ending, aside from just the ending, the last two episodes, and I'd even argue the last three, were actually pretty decent and felt like Ninjago. It felt like a lot of stuff actually happened. It felt like the characters were a lot less annoying. The writing was less bad. The episodes felt less empty. There were nice stakes, I will say. They didn't feel like actual stakes. They kind of felt like Ninjago stakes. We all know there's no stakes in Ninjago. But there was good tension, all of that. And a lot of the characters that I really couldn't stand actually felt a lot more reasonable. Wildfire, Jordana, Roz especially, the Bone Lady, Wizard Lady, I couldn't stand a lot of them throughout the season, but they got way more tolerable near the end, and there was a lot less exposition. It was a lot of my problems with the season were very much lessened. There were still moments of those little annoyances popping up here and there, and I guess those are just a result of Ninjago being fundamentally bad now. But it wasn't as bad as it used to be, and it shows me that they're capable of making something at the very least decent. If you showed me just the last 3 episodes of Part 1 of Season 2 of Dragons Rising, that I would be sold on this new show. I'd be like, oh, okay, they're cooking. We got something decent in the works here. But it wasn't just that. Other things I liked the references and callbacks to the older seasons. They were few and far between, and I mean that in the best way. It doesn't feel like it was constant, hey, you remember this? You remember this from the past? Remember this from your childhood? It wasn't constant that. They only came up when they felt absolutely necessary, and that was very much appreciated. It's nice to know that they haven't completely forgotten about Ninjago's past, but they're not relying on it to keep people engaged. I was very impressed by that. Well, I'm here because I know I'm going to forget it later, but what's the deal with background characters having certain designs, the administration or whatever? Why do they have a Merlopian that looks like Kelmar, and why is there a black Nindroid? I could maybe understand a white Nindroid being there, but why is there a black one? I thought they were all destroyed or decommissioned. And I guess it doesn't really break the lore or anything to have a Merlopian that looks like Kelmar, but there were a couple of them walking around in the background, and we never saw in Seabound that they all had that sort of trait. It was mainly just the king and his son. And there were other things like that. A lot of them reusing assets from the Wild Brain era, even some Masters of Spinjitzu assets that I'm it's neat that they're references to previous stuff, but why are months just everywhere? Why are geckos everywhere? It made a little not any sense at all. But I guess you could say it's a nitpick. Jay's still doing anything. 2 seasons in. Or 3 if you want to look at it that way. 3 seasons in, still haven't seen anything of Jay. I know he's there. I'm not stupid. I know he was there. He didn't do nothing. And what's the deal with Master Wu? We still don't know what's going on with him. He's obviously going to come back, right? They're building up to him coming back. But can we get any answers? It's another thing. This show keeps setting up... I was supposed to be talking about what I found positive. Anyway, the show keeps setting crap up and then just never doing anything with it. Again, I think that the part 1 and 2 of a season thing is stupid, because the 10 episodes a season is how it used to be, and when the episode length got shortened, we got 30 episodes a season. That all kind of worked out. The time was spent well. But when you give me 20 episodes of absolutely nothing, setting up plot threads that go absolutely nowhere, I'm not gonna count that as a whole season. That's 2 seasons. That is 2 seasons of my time being wasted. So for the rest of this video, I'm gonna call Season 2 Part 1 Season 3. Because we've had 3 seasons at this point, okay? Anyway, that was complete yappage. I'm sorry. What am I talking about? Yeah, so still no Jay. Jay still doesn't have his memory. That's cool. Good to know that we're not doing anything with him for the rest of the show. I should be talking about what I liked about it. What else did I like about it? Oh, the action is great. The action is fantastic. The action, the visuals, they're all good. The designs, I didn't like them at first. Like, I don't like the wolf people. I didn't really like the ninjas, like, armored suits. They kind of felt like a mix match of older suits. They didn't feel too unique, which is unfortunate because the core suits, the Dragons Rising, like, Season 1 suits, and the suits from the later episodes in the season, I thought they were all pretty decent. But just those suits in particular really annoyed me. But the designs, I almost feel like they got, like, better out of nowhere. Like I said, the suits they get at the later half of this season, I don't know if those have a name, they look really good. My only issue with them is they're very tactical, very raw feeling. And, you know, we get suits like that all the time. Like, we had the island suits, they felt very on theme. They come out of nowhere. I don't get the vibe that they need these, like, ropes and, like, this tactical, like, gear, this sort of, like the tan neck wraps with the, I don't know how to describe it, but the very primal looking shoulder pads. It feels very out of place for the context of the season. So although I love the suits, doesn't make sense. That's very much a nitpick. I'll admit that's a nitpick, but it's something I noticed. Cinder, Roz, Georgina, I mean, their design's kind of okay. Again, it feels like they just take cues from old Ninjago designs, kind of squish them together. One thing I definitely dislike the most about Dragons Rising is the lack of themes for the seasons. You look back at old Ninjago, every single season had a theme. This time it's snakes, this time it's bones, this time it's ghosts, this time it's pirates. And the ninja suits always had themes. There was always a theme. Sometimes the theme wouldn't work, it wouldn't always be on point, but they had a theme. And that's probably my biggest issue with Dragons Rising, and the sets especially. The sets have not been hitting. They have absolutely not been hitting since Dragons Rising. Everything just feels like kind of happens, no theming. The wolf people, I don't know how to feel. They were, man. Ninjago's had a lot of army characters, okay? I get that. They just feel like they were just kind of there. I did like that they set up that they were just kind of mindless, and I did really appreciate that they set up the, you know, Aaron, not Aaron, Sora, Kai, and Wildfire, like the mass corruption thing at the end. That was a good way to stall for time. It didn't feel too out of nowhere. That is a completely random thought, but I don't like their masks. They feel corny and cartoony. I really did not have much positive to say about this season. The fights are, like I said, the animation gorgeous this season. The fights so fluid and snappy, and they have such weight. They were good in season 1 and 2, but now they're just like, they're bonkers. They're consistently amazing, and I loved looking at them. But the fights felt very inconsistent. Ninjago's always had this problem. A character that can, like, take a lot of damage will get knocked out in one hit, or the bad guys that are known to take a lot of damage will get knocked down in one hit. This season had that to a crazy degree. I mean, there was no consistency in the fights. Their durability, their stamina, no consistency whatsoever. Stuff that would be established to do a lot of damage wouldn't do damage the next time. Stuff that wouldn't do any damage to the characters, like knock them out. You know, I'm used to that in Ninjago. I'm used to characters, like, falling off the Empire State Building, landing on their necks, and being completely fine. But it was constant this season. Another thing I want to point out, some of the things I may complain about this video, I probably forgot about most of them. There are a lot of problems in this season in particular that are in old Ninjago that I noticed. And I'm aware of that. When I'm saying that I think Ninjago fell off, I'm not saying old Ninjago was perfect. I definitely had these problems in old Ninjago, but I could get through them because the show, it was still good. It was still a good show. But when the show is horrible, it's like the problems are like worse. Does that make sense? Yeah, it doesn't. I know it doesn't. Very yappy video. The names this season were really dumb. I think Shatterspin was a really stupid name. Rising Dragon Technique was really dumb. I forgot the other names, but I didn't like the other ones. I should really take notes for these videos. Oh, I did like the scene. I like the scene where Kai learns the Rising Dragon or whatever, and it keeps cutting to the flashback of Kai and Nia doing the game, playing the game as kids in the blacksmith shop. That scene, I will admit, it gave me chills. That was a really good scene. But the Rising Dragon form is really stupid looking, has a dumb name, and it looks stupid, and it just reminds me of their dragon forms from Crystallized, and it's like a Dollar General crystallized dragon form, and I really don't like it. It felt like they introduced Shatterspin, right? Which is still a horrible name. They introduce it, barely, they use it like 2 times, and it's like, oh, it's a threat. We don't know how to beat it. We can't beat it. We have to learn this special move. And then we spend like 3 episodes of them learning the move. By the way, spent no time with the villains. We spent some time with them at the beginning. Like every now and then we get like 1 scene, an episode of them doing just straight up nothing. And then they're relevant again at the end. Horrible villains this season. And just their utilization, like in general. Like what were they thinking? But it was just dumb. They did not need to include this unbeatable technique just for them to have to learn another new technique for them to beat them. As another thing, I think Ninjago needs to hop off the world-ending threat plot points. Like we need something chill. Can we please get a down-to-earth Ninjago story? Why does I understand, I get it. Back in the old day, the world was ending like every other week. But remember in Master of the Mountain when it was a very like regional conflict? It was all in I can't believe I forgot the name of the area that they were in during that season. But you know, they were fighting for like just that. Remember that? Wasn't that nice? And I know Ninjago has a problem overall. It's just like every season the world is ending. But hey, this is new Ninjago. Can we get a season of them just exploring the merged realms? Can we get a season of them just trying to find everybody and put everybody back where they belong? Can we get something that's just not crazy end of the world plot for just 1 season, half a season max, just some short episodes on YouTube or something, anything? Wow, I really need notes for these videos. Characters, man, I watch television. I watch shows and movies for the characters. That is my favorite aspect about them, especially when you have a show that is made to sell toys. I want those to be some great characters, right? And Ninjago, well, I mean, it's known for having great characters. You got the ninja, Wu, all the amazing side characters, the amazing villains. What happened? I tolerate Eren. I kind of tolerate Sora and Wildfire. I think that's it. Again, by the last 2 episodes, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because characters were talking a lot less and there was actually something happening. A lot of the characters I didn't like were a lot more tolerable. But I can't stand them. Even the ninja. Even the main 6 ninja, minus Jay, the main 6 ninja, I kind of couldn't stand. That scene with Wu, great scene, by the way. Even he got expository. There's too much exposition. It's like they went from having the 15 or what was it, like 11-minute long episodes from the Wild Brain era, and like back to the 22-minute long episodes, and they suddenly forgot how to actually fill in the 22 minutes. These episodes are so boring. They keep opening up, like I just mentioned, or not like I just mentioned, like I mentioned earlier. They keep opening up plot points that go absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I'm impressed by this show for being able to manage like 10 different arcs and storylines at a time, and then also manage to not do anything with them. Seriously, why do they keep doing this? In the show, it's so boring. All the characters do is yap. They yap and yap and yap. They just yippity yap all the time. Is it because the animation budget goes to the fight scenes and like they can't afford to animate the characters actually doing anything? All I can do is talk? It's horrible. It's horrible. Like it's only exposition. They're just talking. And it's not interesting dialogue. The characters don't have character anymore. They all talk the same. None of them are fun. None of them are funny. Like, I think 3 jokes landed this season. They're not funny. They're not interesting. They're not cool. I cannot stand them. And they're always on screen. Dude, the Bone Lady. I know her name, by the way. I'm gonna call her the Bone Lady because I hate her so much. Cannot stand her. Couldn't stand her in seasons 1 and 2, or I think she only showed up in season 2. Can't stand her in season 3. Her gimmick, she's like negative all the time, and it's not funny. You know, she's always sarcastic, like, ugh. And she's hanging out with the other bland, generic characters, you know, Cole's boyfriend and all them. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. They're side characters from like they're not gonna show up that often. Then they decide to make her like vital to the plot, like vital to the plot. She got a little bit more tolerable near the end, but I still couldn't stand it. Hate her voice, hate her design. Cannot stand her design. I want to have a talk with whoever on the Ninjago team thought they cooked with that, because they were very wrong. She's really annoying, really irritating. And then by the end, I was like, oh, she's dead. She sacrificed herself. Yes, yes. And then she showed up with Kai in the other dimension or whatever. And no, please be dead. No, that's the thing with introducing new characters that all suck, is when you want to make any of them relevant, I'm not happy about it, because they're terrible. I don't like them being on screen. Like when the wizard lady was like, all right, time to get in the box. If you get in this box right now, it will literally save the world, and you only have to be in the box for a few hours. She's like, yeah, it's kind of a small box, and I'm not even like claustrophobic or anything. It just looks a little uncomfortable. Do I really have to get in the box? Like, shut up. Her whole thing about wanting to be it's just so cringe. I'm aware I'm yelling about a kid show right now, and I definitely noticed, because it's a kid show. It's like they forgot that they are actually able to make it compelling. And they keep shoving in these messages, these very paper-thin, generic messages, and they keep having the characters explain the messages to the audience, and it's very cringe, very annoying, very boring, and I hate it. And I wouldn't even be complaining if old Ninjago was like this. Even the Wild Brain era, even at the silliest and goofiest of the Wild Brain era, was it never this bad. It's constant exposition, and it's constant, like you gotta trust in your friends, and if you don't have friendship and love, then you won't win. My brain's turning to mush watching this. I feel like I'm watching Cocomelon. Yeah, oh yeah, Cole is definitely gay, by the way. They were straight up holding hands. That's awesome. Good for him. I'm happy for him. The new characters, all annoying. Jordana, we get it. The gimmick of someone not remembering your name is so funny. Please make sure we all know your name constantly. It's very funny. Thank you. Roz felt like a very, very generic villain up until the end, when he started getting mad. He would start cooking. Like the scene where he chased down Eren and Ryu and stood on business. That was tough. That was cool. Cinder, he felt really generic, but he was a little bit more tolerable. But we got like no screen time of him. No screen time of the villains. Wizard Lady, I don't remember her name. It's just Mistake, except instead of tea, it's just normal magic, and she's like really quirky. And again, really irritating voice. I don't know what it is with the voices this season. A lot of them are irritating or uninspired, but she got annoying up until the very end. I started to actually really like her near the end. Still have a really irritating voice, but I kind of got over that. Little, not really. Let's talk about the ninja. Sora is like the worst at the expository dialogue. She's very talk about your feelings type. I'm not even against that in the show. It just doesn't need to be constant, please. Eren, I tolerated Eren the most. I really liked Eren in seasons 1 and 2, and I liked him for a bit in this season, but he got really bad, and it like all the other characters. Wildfire got really annoying. She was really annoying. I hated her, all of her gimmicks until the end again. It's like, I think because in the last 2 episodes they had a lot to do, they didn't have as much time to shove in all the stupid exposition, so it was a lot more tolerable. Yeah, I couldn't stand Wildfire. Ryu doesn't say anything. He's just there to look cute, but he doesn't look cute half the time, and I don't like him very much. I'm trying to think of the other characters. I think I got them all, right? Oh, Gio's back. Gio's still pretty boring. That's the other thing. The characters are really boring. They're generic, uninspired. Even when they have good concepts like Gio, the master of a brand new element, he's like a Gecko months, like, biracial dude. Like, that's really interesting. They do absolutely nothing with him. Nothing at all. It's just boring. The Bone Lady, like the manifestation of a spell, that's kind of neat. Made her boring. Still don't know where Pixel is. Jay somehow still isn't with the other ninja. We haven't seen Dareth. Where's my boy Dareth, man? We don't know what happened to Benthamar, or let me think back, or in general, just any of the other characters from, I'm sorry, I can only think of 2. My brain isn't working, it's pretty late. Any of the other fun side characters from Ninjago's history. Where's the mailman? Somebody please let me know it's the mailman. Okay. The Never Realm is fused, right? Lloyd hasn't gone to see Akita yet. She's probably dead. I didn't think about that. She's definitely dead because of the way time works. Like, I think with Dragons Rising, the focus should have been on the merged realms and them just exploring and trying to get everybody back instead of the villains being the main focus. Like that should be there. There should be villains. There should be like something going on, but it shouldn't be the main plot. Like I said, we still don't know where everybody is. Where's Pixel? You're telling me Zane hasn't been interested in finding where his Boothang is? Where's Skylar? You're telling me Kai hasn't been interested in finding where Nia? You're telling me Nia isn't interested in finding Jay? And that's another really good scene when they were in the fear room or whatever, and Jay didn't know who Nia was, and Nia was like, "Oh, this ain't real." Like that was a cute moment. I really like that. See, they're not. It's not like they can't do good stuff. It's like that. It's not like they can't make good callbacks and have really good scenes. They just choose not to half the time. Plot wasn't interesting. Again, feels like they did absolutely nothing but talk. The mechs, I didn't want to talk about the mechs. The elemental mechs, I thought those were a little silly. It's like when the plot gets less interesting, their marketing gimmicks, they're very obvious. Please buy this toy. Commercial aspects get a lot more noticeable. Like the scenes of the ninjas mechs popping out of nowhere. Not only does that not make sense, but it's obvious you're trying to tell my kid to ask me for the toy. Like you get what I'm saying? It's Ninjago's always been a kid show. Ninjago's always been a kid show, don't get me wrong. And I could always excuse the aspects of the old show that I'm like, oh, obviously it's because it's a kid show, you know. No swearing, no extreme violence, no characters can stay dead, crap like that. I could get over that because it was a very good show, in my opinion. It still had really interesting plot, really fun, really well-written characters, good stories, good character arcs, all that jizzle jazzle. Still had all that. But now it's like they dumbed it down for the new generation of fans or whatever, and it's so bad. If I was a kid, I wouldn't watch this because it's boring. Dude, my cousin watches Ninjago. Like he likes Ninjago like me. Pretty sure he hasn't bothered to check out this season yet because the last two were just so boring. I'm yapping a lot. Aren't I? Cloud Kingdom? Don't have anything to say about Cloud Kingdom. Cloud Kingdom was just there. Really neat concept with them having more elemental masters, but they really don't do much with it. Like I thought they were gonna set up a new ninja team. You have the new master of air, or sorry, wind. Moro's dead. You can have a new master of air. Maybe it is the new master of air, and they just don't want to call it air. Also, what happened to Ash? What happened to Ash from the Tournament of Elements? I know he wasn't an important character. I don't think he really said anything, but I mean, at least like, is he dead? Did he die? Is that what they're implying with the new master of smoke? Is that? But yeah, you have new elemental masters. You got the master of fusion and air and heat and technology and spinjitzu. But I actually like the new elements. I think they're really silly, and that in a good way. This feels very on style for Ninjago. I'm not gonna get mad about there being a master of heat and fire, a master of technology, and a master of spinjitzu. Okay, I'm not gonna be mad about that because I didn't get mad over the masters of speed, metal, and invisibility. Okay, I think that's perfectly on brand for Ninjago to introduce really dumb elemental powers, but do something with them, please. Do something interesting. A lot of stuff in this season that don't get explained. Like, I'm thinking about it now. Remember when there was that crack in the monastery in that other realm, and Cole was like, "Yo, our monastery has that crack in the wall," and then they didn't explain why they were two identical monasteries. They set it up like they're gonna explain it eventually, but I generally get the vibe they're never gonna explain it because, like I said, they keep introducing crap that never goes anywhere. At the end of the day, this show, it's just boring now. Ninjago has always been about selling toys, but the toys are bad, so I guess they don't know what to do anymore in the show. No, the show it's the show, then the toys, then back to the show, I think. But I don't know, man. It's crazy that they were making better content when they had to rush out 2 seasons of a year, I don't want to say it's boring, because boring is subjective, but it's just, again, it feels like they do so much without doing anything. It's really bad. I would love to make a more in-depth actual review of all of Dragon's Rising so far. Maybe I'll wait until part 2 of season 2 comes out, or season 4, I should say, because it's bad. I remember when season 2 came out, everybody was praising season 2 like it was so good, and I know that the writers are like always on Twitter, so I know they see that you guys are praising it. I think that gave them the wrong idea because I don't see any improvement. At least with the Wild Brain era, there was always steady improvement. These guys have had 3 seasons to get it right, and they still haven't gotten it. They still haven't figured out how to make good content yet, which is really, really distracting and annoying. Hey, listen, I'm yapping. I should just make a review. Just rewatch the season, actually write a script. But I'll leave you with this. The day I skip a Ninjago intro is the day Ninjago has died. And everybody who knows the current intro knows Ninjago is most definitely dead. They fired the fold for that. I can't believe it. Bring back the weekend whip. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested, join my Discord server. Following any of my socials. Those links will of course be in the description. Make sure you use creator code GooseHam in the Fortnite item shop. Keep on building my Goose Ham sandwiches. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.